Mr. Slate, sorry to keep you waiting. Gene Rutland?
Bradford Slate. Arson. Oh, filthy habit. Here.
See, we don't have any ashtrays in here.
Oh, well, no, that's all right. No sweat. No sweat.
Hey, no, I'll get you an ashtray,
No,
man.
it isn't lit. It isn't lit. I quit smoking. There was, always trying to hide it and all this. And if it isn't lit, then I'm not smoking, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Were the tenants happy?
Excuse me.
Hollister Square.
Oh, yeah. No, they had complaints. Do you think it was arson?
Well, maybe, maybe not. There weren't that many tenants in the first place, was there?
No, just old man Lasky and the doctor, Ben Martin.
The doctor. Did he and Carpenter have a lot of disagreements?
Well, now, there were some intimidations on Carpenter's part. He wanted Martin out of there.
Well, it's, doctors are usually pretty good tenants.
Yeah, they usually are, and I'm sure of Ben Martin.
He had a permit on this place, Carpenter, for his plans?
Mm-hmm. He wanted to build a mall. Suppose there's nothing to do to stop him now, huh?
I guess. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Redmond,
Yeah.
do you smoke?
No. No, I don't.
That's good. That's good and healthy. Well, it's been nice talking with you.
Yeah.
I'll, see you around.
Okay.
Yep, bottoms up. Come on, go ahead. Tell me what you think.
What's in it?
Nah, that's for me to know and you to find out.
Russ, this is stupid.
Well, come on.
Bananas.
Yeah, what else?
Milk.
Yeah, what else?
Vanilla. Eggs. Spinach. Prunes. Turkey. Coffee.
God, what's with you?
Yogurt. Liver. I don't care what's in it.
Well, excuse me, Little Miss Princess and the Pea.
Yeah, well, I feel like it, and pretty soon I'm gonna have the bed sores to prove it, too.
Yeah, I told you we should have got fitted sheets for that bed.
They don't make fitted sheets for this stupid bed. Besides, I don't feel like a princess. I feel like an invalid.
Becky, dear, you are anything but an invalid.
Well, then why don't you treat me like a normal person?
Because you're in bed.
Well, we can fix that, Russ, can't we?
Becky,
Yes,
come on,
sir,
where
we
you
sure
going?
can
Come on,
fix
where
it.
you
I'm
going?
gonna wipe all this banana off my arm. If you don't mind.
I do mind, because you're supposed to be staying in bed. I wish you would just accept this for what it is. You're just making it harder on yourself and me.
Yeah, well, you seem to be enjoying it. What is that, Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife and couldn't keep her.
You can really turn off the charm when you want to.
Well, you try staying in bed for 6 days and you see where it gets you.
Oh, no. You ain't got nothing on me there, babe. I once spent a whole month in traction.
But there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, because you've been staying in bed just like you should. Have you forgotten already what happened Friday?
How can I when you keep reminding me, Russell?
Well, I intend to keep on reminding you, Rebecca. I thought we both planned on keeping this baby. So, whatever it takes.
Well, why don't you just shut up and leave me alone?
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
Where are you going?
The library. Your lunch is in the fridge, and I'll be on the third floor in one of the typing rooms. If you need anything, just
I
call
don't
the
need anything.
You don't say.
And believe it or not, out of the 1,200 chemicals, over 30 are proven carcinogens. Imagine what a list of ingredients that'd be.
Well, I quit 6 years ago.
Ought to be outlawed.
I agree.
Just pure economics.
Indeed. What price economics?
Oh, you said it right. What price economics? Dr. Martin wanted to stay in the Hollister Mall, didn't he?
Well, no. But, as a matter of fact, there's a very good case of your economics.
Oh, then he had a very fine business.
No, just the opposite. With the large amount of money that he had invested in a brand new practice, which is an enormous amount of money for any young man to start out with, and with virtually no way of getting any return on it for months.
So did he pay his rent?
Well, yes, the first 6 months were prepaid, but frankly, even if he had managed to drum up some patience at the very last minute, I simply don't see how he could have recouped his losses.
Well, you're a very experienced businessman, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, I certainly tried and failed myself.
And he kept trying.
Mr. Slate, I urged him to be more realistic. When I realized that his endeavor was futile, I suggested that he move his practice out of the neighborhood. Well, frankly, that represented an income loss to me, but I'm a generous man.
But he refused your advice.
I didn't realize then, but I wonder now whether he could afford to relocate. Perhaps that would explain some of his rather unpredictable behavior.
Oh, what did he do?
Oh, well, I just chalked it up to sheer frustration. I didn't really take any of his threats seriously at all.
His threats?
Well, nothing specific, mind you, but he seemed to resent it every time I suggested his moving, took it as if I were trying to evict him. Well, no wonder. Very possibly he had no choice but to stay.
But he did have insurance.
Oh, yes, of course he had to, but, oh, well, now, Mr. Slate, you're not suggesting, are you, that...
No. Oh, you know, this day and age, I don't know. Anything can happen, Mr. Carpenter.
I don't like to think about that.
Well, I wouldn't lose a bit of sleep over it if I were you.
What?
Well, anyway, at least you haven't lit one of these. 6 years.
Well, that sounds real interesting, Roger. Look, I got the client in my office right now. Let me get back to you after a while, okay? Yeah, thanks. Bye.
So what's the holdup?
My dear lady, what's the rush?
Money, Harold. You forget that until my mother's estate is settled, I have no means of support.
Well, you ought to be sitting kind of pretty right now, especially since you've cashed in the jewelry for money already. That ought to hold you for a while.
Well, maybe, but I need something else. I just got to know what's going on.
You'll have to blow our case with that attitude. Oh, look, Nancy, it isn't at all unusual for a lawsuit like yours to go on for 2 years, maybe even more.
2 years? You're kidding.
Now, is that really so long?
Yes.
Look, you've got everything you need right now. More than that. Now, the only advice I can give you right now is more of a personal nature.
I suppose it's free, is it?
Of course it is. What are friends for? Now, I suggest that you look at this little waiting period as an opportunity to enjoy life. And go out and do some things that maybe you never had a chance to do before.
What, pray tell, am I going to do cooped up in suburbia? You forget that I have to stay at my mother's house, remember?
No, you've established occupancy there. That's done, I assure you. No, you're free to take a nice little vacation if you like.
Well, maybe I could use the rest. And all the stress and the strain.
You're entitled, as they say.
So have you got any hot travel tips?
I thought you'd never ask. Now, it just so happens that Roger Krantz is my ex-brother-in-law, and Roger happens to run a travel agency, and I'll just bet he could fix you up with the swankiest little cruise you've ever heard of.
Oh, a trip on a boat. Well, just what I always wanted.
Well, that's not exactly a boat. It's more aptly called a vessel. Trip to the Caribbean, maybe even the Mediterranean.
I love seafood.
Oh, come on, use a little creative thinking here. I'm talking about warm sea breezes. Latin lovers.
I think I'd just rather hold on to my purse, thank you.
You look into the Pleasure Princess.
The what?
That's what the cruise ship is called. It's the Pleasure Princess. Now, it's leaving next month for a 9-port cruise of the Caribbean. You get hold of Roger. I bet he'd be real happy to fix you up there.
Is he your brother-in-law or is he a blood relative?
Doesn't make any difference. He'll take real good care of you. Look, he's thrifty, too. Well, come to think of it, vacation doesn't sound like a bad idea. I'll get you a real good discount.
What more could I want?
Hey, look, call Roger. Here's his card. Let me call him for you and tell him that you're going to come over, okay? Huh? Can you go this afternoon?
Do you get a cut out of this?
I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. Now, can you go this afternoon?
Okay. When you tell me loving things.
Hello?
Becky?
Russ? What'd you do, put lard in this sandwich? Actually, it's pretty good, Russ. Russ?
It's Phil.
Oh, Phil. I'm sorry, you sounded just like Russ. Phil, are you still there?
I wanted to ask how have you been, but it's more to the point to ask where you've been.
Look, Phil, I know you must be upset. I mean, I should have called you, but...
Yeah, well, I think that's real nice, Becky. I mean that you got a conscience and all, but I'd kind of like to know what happened.
Well, I've been sick, in bed. Honest.
Don't you think that one's wearing a little bit thin?
But it's true, really.
Okay. Well, how do you feel now?
I feel better. Thanks.
Well, good. Then you can come to rehearsal today, right?
Rehearsal today? Wait a minute. Can you hang on? What time?
1 o'clock.
Till when?
Till we quit. Are you coming?
Look, Phil, can I call you back in a couple minutes?
Afraid not. Look, you've been gone the last 3 days. Now, that's 2 rehearsals down the tubes. Do you want to go with us or don't you?
You know I want to go.
Well, then why don't you put your money where your mouth is? I mean, it's a little crazy for us all to head up there to New York without any preparation. So, if you don't intend to go, then why don't you save us some grief and quit pretending you're so gung-ho?
I'm not pretending. I mean, I was just doing some lyrics when you called.
Okay. Then be there at 1 sharp. Because, Becky, if you miss another rehearsal, we hold another audition.
Phil.
What I wouldn't give for a camera.
I don't we look chic today?
Oh, this? Well, yeah, it is new. Actually, when it gets a little older, maybe I'll give it to you. You can wear it here at the office.
I'm not your size, Nancy.
Well, you could always take the seams out. Are you really typing?
What does it look like, huh?
I don't know. They say if you cut your nails, it's a lot easier.
Over my dead body. Now, what do you want? You want to go to lunch?
Actually, I'm here to see your employer.
Oh, Daddy?
Daddy to you.
Well, he'll be going to lunch any minute. You should have called because I make all of his appointments.
Well, actually, I'm not here for an appointment. I'm here for a date.
A what?
Get your chin up off the floor, Miriam. Your father is a man, after all. Now, are you going to call him for me?
Oh, come on, Nancy. Stop being so tacky. You've got to be kidding.
Well, there you are.
Hi, Charles.
Oh, Daddy, you didn't tell me you had an appointment.
Well, it's not business. It's social.
You usually ask me to make the reservation.
No problem. We'll forgive you this time.
Well, I certainly hope you got them.
Oh, of course, I wouldn't miss something like that.
Daddy?
Miriam, what is your problem?
Why, the two of you aren't just taking off, are you? I mean, can I go along too?
Well, certainly not. Who's going to answer the telephones? I'll be back at 2, and then you can go to lunch.
Oh, fine. You just want me to sit here and work like an idiot while you go off to lunch with my best friend?
Miriam, you don't have the corner on friendship. Now, do as I tell you, and I'll see you at 2.
Bye, Miriam.
No, Ben. No, I agree with you 100%. I think it is great that Terry's got her job to fall back on.
And it's not the money either. I mean, you know she loves nursing.
Yeah, again, I agree with you.
Well, then I don't understand your concern. I think she's doing extraordinarily well under the circumstances.
Yeah, it's almost like she's doing too well. You know, I've seen cases where...
There aren't any cups.
Oh, figures.
You might try the first floor.
Or else do like we've been doing. Bring your own.
And hold on to it. Where does she work?
Psychiatric, maybe.
Maybe I should lose my mind sometimes. Anyway, you were saying?
Oh, yeah, about Terry and her devotion to the job. You know, Ben, I've seen cases where it can become a very subtle hiding place from things like fear, grief, maybe even responsibility.
When Terry's irresponsible, call me. I gotta see that.
No, I don't mean it in the obvious sense of the word. No, I think it's a question of perspective. I think maybe Terry's losing some of her perspective.
You mean she could be pouring so much of herself into the job that she won't have time for a life outside of it?
Yeah, that's certainly part of it. But look at it this way. You know, here at the hospital, her work is very cut and dried. She knows what to expect and pretty much when to expect it. She can bury herself in the job, get involved with solving other people's problems, and she really doesn't have to face up to her own problems.
Yeah. I guess it's not a good sign that I was beginning to think of nursing as her life now that Scott's gone.
Yeah, well, it's certainly a big part of it. But look, just keep your eye on her. I will, too. Well, look, do you think Laurie's noticed any changes in her?
No, probably not. She seems a few steps removed from her mother right now.
Yeah. Well, look, maybe you and Laurie could cook up some things that would involve Terry in the greater aspects of her life. You know, I think right now the main thing is to get her to talk.
Okay, we'll sure try.
Good.
Thanks, Alex. Oh, did you check on Becky Weaver yesterday?
Yeah, I called her this morning. Look, she's doing fine. No problem since she started the bed rest.
She's okay?
Yeah, and she'll be okay as long as she stays in bed.
Oh, Vicky, could you get me a copy of this, please?
4?
No, 3 is fine. Reynolds already has one.
Okay. As long as I'm in duplicating, do you still need the Track 104 surveys?
Yes. Glad you remembered that. We just might get that into the appraiser on time. Yes, indeed.
Mr. Redland?
Yeah. Hey, Peter Davidson. What are you doing all dressed up standing in my office anyway? Hey, and what is this, some monogrammed hard hat?
Prescott Development. That's where I work now, part-time.
Hey, well, I'm glad to call you an associate of mine.
Just got started. So this is planning and development.
This is it.
Never been here before. Real nice.
Peter, this is Vicky Lang. Vicky, this is Peter Davidson.
Hello, Peter.
Glad to meet me.
You too.
Yeah, Peter's the son of Scott Davidson, and Scott and I used to co-anchor the WRD Evening News together.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, Peter and I go back a long way, don't we, Peter? Yeah, we go back a long way.
Well, Mr. Redland, I guess I should...
We go back a long way.
I'll bet.
Yep.
Well, it certainly was a pleasure to meet you, Peter. Shall I complete this form of duplicating?
I have a car.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you, Vicky. That'll be fine.
Goodbye, Peter.
Peter, you in there?
What did I say?
I don't know.
Ernie, is it hooked up? Okay. All systems are go. We are primed. She better be here. Because we're gonna do it without her. For good. Oh yeah, if she don't show. And by the clock on the wall, the hands are at 1 exactly.
You want me to give her a call?
She got the message, Francis. This is her last chance.
Well, at least I could call her.
Do nothing, man. Either she's here or she isn't. Regardless, we're gonna be cool. Yeah. Yeah, this summer wind's gonna blow cool. Ready or not? Becky, you're not. Louis, check that amp. I thought I heard some buzz or something. Yeah, ready or not. Are you guys ready? I'm ready.
She's here. She's here.
All right. 1, 2. 1, 2.